How's it going, you guys? AZ Plyo 21 back again with another episode of our UFC save in WMMA 5. And here today we have UFC Fight Night Lingo versus YUSUFF, a big fight in our featherweight division. Also have Rafael Carvalho, Robbie Lawler, and Colby Covington going at it on this card as well. We are looking at a pretty good card here today. Our next one is going to be UFC Fight Night Andrade versus Dern. Also on that card, Elias Theodorou, Gregor Gillespie, former champion, Cub Swanson, Travis Brown. We are making our way towards UFC 300, where we have 10 titles on the line on that pay-per-view. It is going to be a big pay-per-view that I'm going to be live streaming both on Twitch and Twitter at the same time. Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So that's going to be a big one. That's going to be probably the longest episode in a long time because there's 10 title fights, and not including the 10 prelims. All 5 rounds, that's 50 rounds possibly. It's going to be a big, long video, and I'm excited for it. Hope you guys are too. But today we have Lingo versus YUSUFF. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go and update those rankings for you guys as well. We had Pavlovich getting a big win over Cyril Gane. He moves up into the number 2 spot. He is the next contender after Tai Tuivasa for the heavyweight title. Moving into light heavyweight, we had Luke Rockhold get a big win, so he bumps into the top 10. Ian Heinisch back into the top 20 after a big win at middleweight. Not much going on in some of these divisions. Arman Sayukian had a little bit of time in WEC, and now he's into the top 20 as well. Nothing at featherweight. At bantamweight, we have Tom Duquesnoy into number 7 after getting a big win over Ronnie Yaya. He's now at number 7. Nothing at flyweight or any of the women's divisions. So yeah, not much going on in the rankings the last week, but could have some changes after this week's fight. Let's go ahead and get into it. Lingo versus YUSUFF. Is it on TV? It is. Got to make that money. Let's go ahead and get into it. Taking place in Manitoba, Canada. A couple of consecutive cards for the Canadian audience as we get into it. Christian Edwards taking on Carl Moore in our first prelim. Big favorite is Christian Edwards here in this one, and he gets the rear naked choke victory. He is still undefeated both in his UFC career and overall. As you can see, did he lose this fight? Yeah, he lost this fight to Murzakanov, but he was on PED, so still undefeated. Do I have a virus protector? I do believe I do. Why is something popping up or some weird sound coming up or something like that? But yeah, I mean, I do have a virus protector. So yeah, moving along, let's go ahead. Christian Edwards says he wants to fight Julius Anglicus on the next one. Moving along, we have Carlos Boy Felipe taking on Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division. Felipe 12-2-1, Aspinall 13-4, doing a lot better in real life than he is in this save. He's had a pretty good time of it, but coming off that loss to Jake Hager and then a win over Lucas Bezerski. And Tom Aspinall gets a knockout in round number 1. Takes him less than 70 seconds to get it done over Boy Felipe here today. All right, Will Chope taking on Tyler Diamond in the 145 division. A big favorite is Tyler Diamond, 4-2 in his UFC career, coming off that loss to Daniel Torres. And it is Tyler Diamond getting the submission win here today. A great fight, apparently. Love to see it. Tyler Diamond, definitely a prospect to look out for. Mario Batista taking on Pedro Munoz in the bantamweight division. WMMA keeps getting caught as a virus on my PC. Make sure that when you open WMMA 5, you're doing it as an administrator. But other than that, I really don't know what to say about the virus stuff. It's not going to cause a virus. Gluttony, how's it going, my man? Ron Weasley, we'll go ahead and check on that in a little bit. So we have Batista 7-3 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. Not necessarily a bad loss. Munoz, number 23 in the division, but he's had a very tough time. Look at that. Technically a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight losing streak from Munoz. We had to send him to WEC. He won the WEC title, so we brought him back. He immediately lost to Dominique Wooding. So not the best time for Pedro Munoz right now, and he's the underdog to the younger Batista, and Batista gets the unanimous decision victory here today. And he says he wants to fight Jack Shore next. That probably would be a good contest. Thomas Deek taking on Odie Osborne. I believe also in the 135 division. Yep, Deke and Osborne set to go at it. And, I mean, not much to it. Both these guys not doing particularly well thus far. Odie Osborne's been a little bit back and forth. He is the slight favorite, and it is Thomas Deke getting the decision here today. James Gallagher, wannabe Conor McGregor, taking on Patrick Mix. Not sure if he's a wannabe of anybody, but because I don't watch that much Bellator. But Mix 3-1 in his UFC career thus far, coming off a win over Bumblebee De La Rosa. James Gallagher 2-1 in his UFC debut. Didn't think he would have to come across any Bellator fighters, perhaps, but he meets up with Patrick Mix here today. Have these guys fought before? They have, and Gallagher got the win in that fight. He is the slight favorite as a result, and it is James Gallagher getting a TKO victory in round 2 in a fantastic fight. This young man might have a bright future. I mean, he trains with Conor, you know, 3-1 in his UFC career. His only loss in the UFC coming to Said Nurmagomedov. Not a terrible loss necessarily. Moving along. Kean Hindley taking on Damasio Page, who missed weight. He's going to be having to move up to bantamweight. But Page is a big favorite in this one, but he gets knocked out by Kean Hindley. Hindley now 2-1 in his UFC career, only losing to James Gallagher. And Damasio Page announces his retirement at the age of 42. Not going to be asking him to come back, so congrats to Page for his retirement. Sorry that it had to be on a loss, and Kean Hindley is a boring fighter apparently. Famiko Noguchi taking on Shauna Young in the 125 division. Young 3-4 in her UFC career, very, very back and forth. On the other side, you have Noguchi, 2-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Shandy Aguda. She's a big favorite in this one, and it is Noguchi getting the TKO in round 3 in what was a fantastic fight between these ladies. Love to see it. Hopefully, Shanna Young, we might send her down to Invicta, not 100% sure. Julia Stolyarenko taking on Christina Williams in the bantamweight division. Williams 0-1 in the UFC, and then on the other side you have Stolyarenko 5-5. So very, very back and forth between her and her UFC career, coming off a loss to Mura Takami. And it is Warhorse Williams getting it done at 135. Unanimous decision victory over Stolyarenko. Increases her UFC record to 1-1 after losing to Caitlin Vieira. Moving along, Baliad Kawaburasai taking on Ryo Hada in the final prelim. Undefeated fighter in Kawaburasai in the flyweight division, the young man out of Thailand. Coming off a big win over Ben Wynn. Taking on Ryo Hada, Japanese prospect. Or not really prospect, he's 32, but he's got a little win streak going himself. Hada is a huge favorite, but I'm going to say Kawaburasai gets it done. And he does. Kawaburasai getting the unanimous decision in another fantastic fight. Gluttony says he's got Lingo winning by decision. That might be a smart bet. Lingo has been really, really good in this save. Moving on to the main card, Thiago Moises taking on Joseph Irish Joe Duffy. Now, Duffy had a kind of a weird past couple years because he was on a huge winning streak. And then I think, yeah, he went to the Super Lightweight Grand Prix as a result. Lost to Usman, beat Christos Giagos, lost to Dustin Poirier, beat Christian Lee, who's a really, really good prospect, and then lost to Gregor Gillespie. So very back and forth, but he's still at number 12 in the world. He's getting paid a lot, looking at $83,000 a fight. Taking on Thiago Moises, number 11 in the division, coming off a win over Jason High. And it is Moises getting the rear naked choke in round number 2. All right. Really happy with the submission win, apparently, and that he has a lot of confidence in his chokeholds. Veronica Macedo taking on GDR Jermaine Durandamy in the bantamweight division. Macedo, 10-8 in her UFC career, coming off 2 straight wins from the top 15. Very, very good for her. GDR, number 8 in the division, coming off. She hasn't won in about 2 years or so, so she's really needing to step it up. Lost to Liana Jojua her last time up. Macedo, only 28, still making her way up, and she is the favorite against GDR, and she submits GDR in round number 1. The Venezuelan getting it done. Might move into the top 5 with that win. Jimmy 2 says YUSUFF by knockout. All right. I mean, Yusuf has looked pretty impressive in real life in his last couple of fights or so. I think he just got a win, I want to say, at the pay-per-view that I was at Covington versus Masvidal. I think he won a fight there. Dodson taking on Kakeru Fuma in the bantamweight division. Fuma, very impressive, 5-1 thus far, including wins over Brad Katona and Umar Nurmagomedov. Only loss coming the way of the current interim champion, Yadong Song. So he's definitely favored there. Taking on veteran John Dodson, coming off a loss once again to the current interim champion in Yadong Song. And it is Kakeru Fuma getting the guillotine submission in round number 3. A great fight. Love to see when these fights are always bangers, constantly really good fights. That's what you want to see. Moving along, ruthless Robbie Lawler in a big fight against Colby Covington. Both guys have been struggling as of late. I mean, you can see here, Covington is on 4 straight losses. That is insane. But you have to keep in mind, this is at welterweight. Robbie Lawler on the other side. 2 straight wins, but not over the best opponents. Gilbert Burns in this game has not been very good. Other than that, a win over Yuri Lapikis as well. But Covington, this would be his 5th straight loss if he loses, and that is not good. Not necessarily going to cut him, but he would need to take a huge step down in competition. And if he were to lose that, I mean, we might consider cutting him because he's getting paid a lot. Still high-level national. We'll see. Ruthless Robbie Lawler TKOs Colby Covington in round number 1. That is insane. And it's not like he was doing bad either. Lost to GSP. Got 2 straight wins over really good opponents. Had another title fight. Won 2 straight wins after that. And it's that Usman fight that he really started to crumble. And now he is on 5 straight losses. I mean, they've been to killers. Usman, Moicano, Nardiev, who's the current champion, I believe, Nate Diaz, and now ruthless Robbie Lawler. I mean, he's beaten him in the past. Robbie Lawler, thanks to sponsors and fans. Co-main event time. Toyoshige Hidaka. This guy's one to look out for in the middleweight division. Currently at number 14. 3-0 in the UFC thus far. Leeser, Branch, and Theodoru are his wins. Taking on Rafael Carvalho. 3-2 in the UFC. Coming off 2 straight wins over Tamdan McCrory and Georgie Kitchigan. It is our co-main event. Hidaka is the huge favorite, and with good reason. Unanimous decision victory for Toyoshige Hidaka, the middleweight, getting it done. And apparently very charismatic. I'd imagine he knows how to speak English, or Canadian, I guess you could say, since they're in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And we have arrived at our main event of the evening. Austin Lights Out Lingo taking on Super SODIQ YUSUFF. You gotta wonder what is going to be next for Lingo. I mean, because had he beaten AJ McKee, it would have been like super close to a title fight, I believe. But he lost that one. Got knocked out. Took him quite a while to get back. Wins over Feely and Calvin Kattar now. And now he takes on Super SODIQ YUSUFF, number 10 in the division, who himself is on a 4-fight winning streak. Barbosa, Darren Elkins being the last victims of SODIQ YUSUFF. Lost to 2 Ricardos, lost to Mirsad Bektic earlier on in the save. But SODIQ, now 30 years old, kind of in the prime of his career. If he's going to get it done, it's going to have to be soon. And it's the main event. Let's go ahead and get it going. Appreciate you guys for watching, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. Links are down in the description below, whether you want to follow me on Twitter or Twitch. Like I mentioned, UFC 300 is going to be a very, very big deal. I'm going to be streaming that live both on YouTube and Twitch. And my imagination is probably thinking it's going to be about an hour, hour and a half long video. Serial Rival, how's it going, man? Hope you are having a good day. Nice right hook. Lands there. Lingo stalking YUSUFF. YUSUFF with a counter jab. Under a minute left to go. A couple minutes from now, as I'm recording this, the prelims are going to start for the Luque versus Muhammad fight card. As round 1 comes to a close and apparently goes to Lingo. I uploaded a couple days ago a video of my picks and my bets that I'm placing for the fight card. I'm probably going to be doing that moving forward. Whether you want to watch it or not, that's up to you, but, you know, something that I enjoy doing, so why not share my crappy picks with the world? Crazy part is on my gaming PC. Okay, no, I feel you. I feel you, TJ. Beauty of a straight light, a right, I should say, lands for Lingo. A 1-2. YUSUFF not getting trouble necessarily, but Lingo, uh-oh, landed with a Christ. Whoa, hold on. Head kick, contact on a low kick. But yeah, Lingo, it looks like he's pressuring him really hard here. Oh, Lingo's dazed. YUSUFF trying to go into a Muay Thai clinch. Could not fight free. Might get a knee here. Not much power behind it. Knee to the chest of Lingo. Can't get it done. Looks like YUSUFF might have won that round. So it's 19-19. Round 3 underway in our main event. But yeah, UFC 300 is going to be insane. I know there's a way for me to like issue out quote-unquote points for like bets on the fight in a way. I would have to look into that, because I know I've seen like New Legacy Inc. do something like that before, and it's pretty cool. I think that'd be fun, you know, for the 5 or 6 people that, you know, come into the stream to have a little bit of engagement, you know, just so, you know, they feel like they're involved a little bit. Lingo with a powerful right hook. YUSUFF is out. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee calls a stop to this contest at 3 minutes and 7 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by knockout is Austin Lights Out Lingo. Gluttony, I agree. That would be really cool, because I've seen something like that before. Lingo wants to fight Hamzat Dalgiev. I believe Dalgiev is challenging for the featherweight title soon. That would make sense if Dalgiev were to lose. Why not? Critical rating, very good. Commercial rating, not the best, but we'll take it. 98% is fine. 5,000 in attendance in Manitoba, Canada, to watch Lingo and YUSUFF go at it. Popularity is completely fine. We had a bunch of fantastic fights on the card. 3 of them, to be exact. I'll give it to the flyweights, but I will give them performance bonuses. Any first round finishes, we got Robbie Lawler, we've got Veronica Macedo, and then we've got Tom Aspinall. Giving out a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. We still take a healthy profit, $1 million. Highest paid fighters on the night include Robbie Lawler, Joe Duffy, Baliad Kawaburasai, and Rio Hada. You gotta love it. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like I mentioned, Andrade versus Dern is going to be our next fight card. I'll see you guys there, and have a good one.